And so our avocado tree is not a peach tree, but he's still named Petrie.
All right, welcome to Small Town Big Stories. I'm your host, Nate West. With me today is my co-host, Bob. How are you doing, Bob?
Pretty good. How are you, Nate?
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
All right, our guests today are here to talk about the Think Local campaign. So we have Caitlin Cotter and Chrissy Riley with us today.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hey guys.
All right, a quick word from our sponsors.
Josh Robinson Productions is your local source for digital media, event videography, and video production. We help people, businesses, and organizations grow their brands with video. From product and service promotions to recruiting, we help local organizations deliver important content to the people that need it. We are also passionate about telling impactful stories about the awesome organizations and people in our community. Want to find out how you can use the power of video? Call us at 317-432-9585 or visit joshrobinsonproductions.com.
All right, so I know you guys are here to talk about the Think Local campaign, but we really need to know more about you guys. So, Chrissy, why don't you start? Tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you grew up, where you went to school, all that stuff.
So it's kind of funny because when I was thinking about Think Local, you have literally two people who are not originally locals, right? So I grew up in a little town called Sunbury, Ohio, and eventually migrated my way here to Indiana. I'm married to a great guy, Mark Riley. He works for Overhead Door, has for a while. We have two kids, teenagers. I know it's amazing to think that I have teenagers, but I do. They're 14 and 16, Lexi and Devin. We live in Edinburgh, super involved in the community. I work for AIM Media. I do digital marketing for that. I've been with them 6 years. Love it. Started on the print side, went to the digital side. Columbus became my territory 3 years ago, and so I became part of the chamber, met Bob and all of you guys, really. You guys are my chamber family now. And, you know, was invited for Think Local. I really want to be, because this is where I plan on being. This is my career, where I've set it. And I just really want to be part of it. And that's kind of what got me to Think Local and being here, and then just being enthusiastic about it and helping businesses and community and just loving all that. So that's me.
So we'll talk about the kids real fast. They're into sports, right?
They are. So my kids are into sports. It started with softball, baseball, went to basketball. Now they're both high schoolers. Yeah, that's hard to believe. Lexi's in volleyball. She's on the Havoc team, so she loves that. And Devin just got into golf. So that's a new thing. And I was one of those golf moms for the first time, and I talk too much, apparently, which I've been told my whole life. So my son told me I can't talk so much in golf. But
We're all very surprised by that.
I know, surprising thing.
You can work on your clap, right?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, just softer.
Well, Caitlin,
Well,
you go.
Now, I feel like I don't really have a whole lot to follow up with. I feel kind of boring in comparison. I grew up in Colorado, went to school in Wyoming. Go Pokes. No one knows that's a thing, doesn't know it exists. Wyoming is real. It's not a conspiracy theory. I will just state that. But there's also a reason I'm here. Moved out to Indiana because my now husband actually brought me out here. Cummins brought him here. Shocker, I know. So we've been here. He's been here about 7 years. I've been here almost 4. So it's just been super great experience coming here, loving the environment. Kind of tried a few different jobs since being here. Found my home at Realty One Group Dream. Get to work right downtown 5th and Washington. Absolutely love it. Get to do marketing plus all the odds and ends to make the operations run. You know, if there's anything that needs done, I'm going to do it. So really enjoyed that, and just being able to be involved with the chamber and, you know, get to know people like Chrissy and you guys. And that was that cool part of getting involved, really taking part of the community, because it's the first time that I've actually really felt like I was home was when I came to Columbus, and I could see myself, you know, wanting a family and wanting a life here. So, you know, especially with this Think Local, to be able to say, I want to give back what I've gotten out of this town. Like that was a huge opportunity to say, yeah, let's look at Think Local Columbus. Let's drive some business. Let's give these people all the love because they've given all the love.
What's up with the avocados?
The avocados?
Yeah, I saw on your bio at work that you were into avocados.
Yeah, so I love avocado, and
I just threw you for a loop.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
threw me for a loop, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate Nate's.
Well, you skipped my line.
I appreciate your ability to really do some research
Yeah.
and dig below the surface. So now everybody wants to know about the
Yeah,
avocados.
everyone's
really
interested in
scared what
avocados,
information
like
I'm just a little
right.
right now, so I need to hear the Caitlin avocado story.
Yeah, so it's kind of just one of those that I feel like avocado just goes on everything, and so I don't make that face. I'm telling you,
Agree to disagree.
it's fantastic. I could eat it all day, every day, and I even have gone as far as I have my own tree growing. He's about 4 foot tall now, and I'm trying to convince my husband to find me a nice plot of land that I can put like a nice big area to have my tree at, and try to enclose here, make a little greenhouse, make him survive in Indiana when
That's what
he
I was
definitely
saying.
doesn't want to be here. But yeah,
What's his name?
Petrie.
So
So, hear me out. So, what happened was I had the tree, and I watched the whole tutorial thing where they're like, oh, put a toothpick in the side, and then you put it in the cup, and then it sprouts. And like, it wasn't working, right? And I was like, this is ridiculous. And so I ate a peach, and I was like, fine, I'll grow a peach tree. And I threw the peach in the same pot, and then threw the avocado into the pot, and just kind of was like, it is what it is. Well, we got a sprout, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that peach pit is growing. And so we were like, peach tree, Petrie, because land before time, obviously. And so we named it Petrie, and it wasn't until he outgrew his pot and I went to transplant him, and I pulled out this peach pit, and I'm going, oh, look, here's his pit. And I'm going, wait a second, that's not how that works. And then realized it was actually an avocado tree. And so our avocado tree is not a peach tree, but he's still named Petrie.
It's 4 foot tall?
It's 4 foot tall.
That is
he's
insane.
He's 2 years old. He's 4 foot tall, and every summer he comes from inside out. So if you drive by my house, he's right out front where he can get an all day sun.
I am super impressed. And
Thank you.
Like, your dedication to Petrie is amazing.
If anything ever happens to him, like, don't talk to me for a week. Like,
Right.
I'll be out.
Right. I'm really sorry to sidetrack us, Bob.
Not at all.
What
by
else
the
you
way,
got,
I
man?
have a farm. You
Oh.
can put a greenhouse there, and
Okay.
Petrie, when he's 6 feet tall, can grow there.
What do you do when Petrie gets so large that he doesn't fit inside a building? That's
He's coming to the farm.
well, I know,
Where-
but like,
He's still got to be
As
an
inside because he's
adult.
an avocado tree.
What
Yeah.
part of I'm trying to get land did you not understand? Like, I'm hoping that because he's growing so quick that my husband realizes that this is more of like, hey, you're on a timeline, bud. Like, we got to get this going.
have you looked at how tall a avocado tree?
Yeah, up
grows?
to 150 feet if you let them.
Okay.
Well, best of luck with Petrie. I hope that works out. It's difficult in our climate, I believe.
Yeah.
But we're really pulling for you.
Yeah.
We really are. Well, talking about Think Local Columbus, let's start at kind of the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about how the group was formed and a little bit about what the mission is?
So back in the fall, September, October, it was during COVID when everything was shut down. All the businesses, weren't sure what they were doing. Christmas was approaching. We knew that everybody would be out shopping, and Black Friday was going to be we're not sure how that was going to go. People were quarantined at home. So Cindy Fry with the Chamber reached out to us. There were 15 of us, I think she originally reached out to, and said, let's create this grassroots effort to help our local businesses and to remind people to think local Columbus first. Those were all, it was kind of funny because because when it started, we didn't have the name Think Local together at all. We threw all these names out there, and what we came up with was Think Local, and then we always add in Think Local Columbus. But, you know, it was a 3-month, 3-phase thing. First was retail, then working into services. And then I think the third month there was a set thing, but I think it was still kind of questionable of how we grow from that. And so that's how we started, was doing that and the passion that came with it and all of that. Do you want to talk about our mission?
Yeah. So basically, when we got together and decided, hey, we want to, you know, inspire people to think local Columbus. So like Chrissy mentioned, it's getting people to say, hey, I can get this good or service locally, I'm going to, and not just doing the easy, well, I can just click and add to cart and it's here. Believe me, during quarantine, I did the same thing. I was like, yeah, Chewy can just bring my cat food straight to the step for me. I bring it in, we're good to go. And it was, you know, even retraining myself of, hey, we're coming out of this. I'm going to Specs and I'm going to go get my dog food there, and I get a friendly face and someone who can actually answer my questions and say, hey, my dog's allergic to 15 things, help me out. And someone who's knowledgeable and friendly, and it's a great time. It's a great experience. So we wanted people to remember that everything that you're doing online, there's a really good chance it's already available here. But then there was the other side of it of, you know, you want the consumers to think about where they're purchasing, what goods they're consuming, what services they need. But how do we help these business owners? Because the business owners are going through such a hardship. COVID wasn't easy on anyone. And, you know, if you're already a small business and you're struggling and COVID hits, it's tough, it's difficult. And so we really wanted to work together to arm the local businesses with the right tools and resources that they need to be successful. And, you know, that's as far as, you know, we sent out information on, hey, here's PPE loans and here's these other things that you might not realize are out there and available to you as a resource. But we also offered some classes so that way we could say, hey, you know, if everyone's online right now, the best way for you to say, come pick up curbside, is to be posting on your social media or updating your Google My Business page. But a lot of them are not aware of that. So we started with some basic classes, kind of talking Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, those basics, and had great attendance of local business owners showing up to learn how they could get their business more in front of the local eye.
I think it's really, really important that Think Local is thought of as think small. And Think Local is not think small. It's not just think of the mom and pop businesses, because part of our mission statement is Think Local Columbus, right? That's period. But it's Rural King, Best Buy, Walmart. Those are huge stores within our community that hire local residents. They are just as important for our community as Menage or Boutique Elise downtown or Savory Swine. You know, so it's some people don't like to shop in Walmart or even go into Best Buy, right? That was a lot of it. So shop online, but pick up in store. So you still have that option, but you're still supporting local. Now, we, of course, would rather you go into the stores and do all of that and think local. But if you just shopped online and picked up in store, that's huge too. And it's also not just retail. We have wonderful service businesses. I mean, Josh Robinson Productions for one of them. You don't have to go to Indy and get a big video production. You can be right here, get quality products, you know, with a local guy. And I think all of that comes into play. You know, it's not just retail, it's services and it's big box stores, but it's thinking of Columbus. And, you know, I know in the future, what we're looking at is now we've helped the stores, you know, it's consumers and then arming the businesses. Like that's what we've always liked to say. We want to arm the businesses and remind the consumers. But we're also looking at charity work. You know, how can we volunteer, right? It's shop, live, play, and give back. That's what we want to do for Think Local.
That's a great mission. And I think it was really interesting because when that started, there was a natural push as COVID hit of, hey, we've got to support our local businesses or they're not going to be here. And so it was kind of almost an emergency situation in a lot of cases, and it was for a lot of folks. Unfortunately, COVID was hard. We have lost some small businesses in Columbus, and we hate to see that. So it's great that there's an organization that's just trying to not force people to do anything, but just educate and encourage them to, hey, let's shop local and let's try to keep these local businesses around. I do want to back up a second about your educational classes.
Okay.
Is it true? Now, I know in the past you've done things such as, there's been some really great ones. I've sat on in a lot of these. I know we did one on creating a marketing content calendar. A lot of people need that. Google for Business, goal setting, growing your network. There's just a lot of programs that you guys have put out that people could really benefit from. Is this living on a website somewhere, or is there a way that, hey, I've missed these, but I just heard about it today? Is there a way that people can go back and get this information?
Yeah, so actually, thinklocalcolumbus.com is a fabulous site. Shout out to Cammie at the Chamber for that build out. She's done a fabulous job of creating, maintaining, making sure everything's on there. But we have all the past recordings of classes we've done. We have the future class schedules. Any resources that we know are available are going to be going on there. And then as well as you can see a list of our local businesses. So, if you're a local business and you're going through that list and you're like, wait a second, I'm not on here, there's a whole submission form that's already on the site. You just have to say, hey, here's my business, here's my logo, and we'll add you, because we just want to raise awareness for you, for your business, draw people into you.
So I want to interject too, along with that. Think Local Columbus is all of Columbus. The Chamber has backed us, right? Like we're very grateful and appreciative of the Chamber backing us, but you don't have to be a Chamber member to be part of the Think Local group. That's the big thing is being a Chamber is wonderful, but it is it's Think Local backed by the Chamber, led by community business leaders and citizens to help grow and think of that. So when you go to thinklocalcolumbus.com, don't think that you have to be a Chamber member. Sign up, be on there. We want to help you get your message out there. So, on anything we do.
Did you find a lot of people were just kind of clueless to the internet and kind of the workings of like Facebook, and was that pretty widespread or what?
Clueless isn't the word I would use, but maybe not fully aware of how, right? They know it's there, but the business owners that we're learning don't understand how to utilize it to the best of its abilities. And so, or they're just overwhelmed, right? You're just trying to run your business. You day in, day out, running your business, doing what you can. But these resources and these trainings that we're giving are to go beyond that and to give more information. So,
Caitlin, Chrissy and I know a guy that's on a really sweet podcast. He didn't know how to share the podcast on Facebook.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
We don't want to name any names or anything.
We're not naming any names, but helping Bob out was a big thing that I was able to do.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. You've been helping Bob with social? Because I've been helping Bob with social.
He needs a lot of help.
I'm really appreciative. I've got to the point where I've made posts on my own and all sorts, and I've actually made some Think Local posts. So
I just want to actually point out that during our last committee meeting, we actually had our interest meeting, I should say, that Bob explained the benefits of liking, commenting, and sharing a business's post, because he now understands that when you share or like and comment on a post, that it helps reach your followers and will help develop that growth for that business organically and give them more love without them having to throw that money behind it.
I think that's a great way to think local. And as a result of the Think Local, I went out to a lot of local businesses and started leaving reviews. And you think, well, maybe that has made a difference. And I got an email from Google the other day that said your review has helped 987 people. And it was just kind of one of those, you thought, wow, if everyone could just go to a local business they like and leave a good Google review for them. It's so easy to do, but we forget what an impact it can have on that business. I left one because I was really proud of the service that they provide. And and it was seen almost 1,000 times. And so imagine if we all did that, how much we could just help build the community. So I appreciate the quick lecture on the social media and bringing me back into the fold on the digital world.
But let me ask you, Bob, how much did that cost you? Did you have to put any money into it?
Not at all.
No.
It's absolutely free, and it took, I think the one that got all the reviews was no longer than 3 lines. And so it was minimal effort with maximum impact.
Right.
And that's just the way we can help the local businesses.
Absolutely.
Right. I think the thing, too, that you have to remember with reviews, you pointed out, hey, over 900 people saw this, but it's also making a world of difference for that business owner. That, you never know when someone's just kind of having a rough day. Owning a business is hard. Managing a business, even working in a business is very hard. So, to have someone come in and kind of give you that pat on the back sometimes, you never realize how much someone needs that. And I know the last review I left, that it was just awesome, because I walked in and I was picking my dog up for Barkefellers, and the owner himself comes out and he goes, hey, that review you left, you almost had me in tears. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And so, you're doing these things and you're not thinking about them because they don't cost anything, but it's making such a difference in that business's life and how they're working and operating. And, your review is also reaching those 900 plus other people, and you're helping just really get that chain reaction going to where we can help our businesses survive without even spending a dime. I mean, that's just a tiny little piece, and it takes nothing but 30 seconds.
You think, like, without Bob's glowing reviews, people would Google that and then they'd potentially go out of our community to get that service, right? So
Reviews are huge anymore. And I mean, I know I'm one that anytime I'm going somewhere, if it's the first time, I'm Googling it, I'm looking at the reviews, I'm checking the photos, I'm checking their social media. Like, it's such a big part of, we're a tech forward society. We want to see, hey, what should I be expecting? What am I coming into here? And so you're really helping out these businesses, because someone who might only have 1 or 2 reviews right now, if we can bump it up to even 10 reviews, hey, someone might actually come and stay local because they're realizing, hey, 10 people really love this place. Yeah, I'm going to go here. I'm not going to drive to Indy for that service anymore, because obviously this person's doing great.
Well, I think a lot of folks don't realize that a negative review is like super detrimental, on the big machine that's technology right now. And so to combat that is very difficult. So to really go out there and boost up the positive stuff on top of just making people feel better. Like, what am I missing, Bob?
You're not, but what was going through my mind is I was on the Think Local site today and was looking at upcoming events. And on August 12th, the Think Local team is actually putting together a program on how to handle negative reviews. So it's just, you kind of walked right into that one.
Wow, that is so weird.
Because it is an important thing.
I didn't have that in my notes.
As you get like a negative review, is how do we deal with it?
Right.
Because there's right ways and wrong ways. And so would you guys tell us a little about what we can expect with that class on dealing with negative reviews?
It's your class.
I know. So Caitlin's looking at me because I get to be the presenter. I get to be the presenter of that class. And basically, yeah, how to handle a negative review is what we're naming the class. But for me, it's starting at the time they enter your door, right? So it's more than just handling it after it's already happened. My presentation is going to be focusing on how to handle it from the time their hand hits the door and starts to open to come in. Let's prevent that negative review, but there are people out there that just want to say what they want to say, no matter what their experience was. And, how do we handle that? How do we respond to that to move on and give things? Because, my one piece of advice is don't ignore it. Absolutely. You need to reply to that negative review. Whether the client was right, wrong, indifferent, it doesn't matter. We're not necessarily caring about their response. We're caring about the future responses that are looking at the review and how you handled it. So, we're kind of going into that a little bit, and it'll be an hour long. I think it's at 9 a.m. on the 12th. So, we're going to do that.
I mean, like, we all have bad days and things go sideways, but the true test of any business is how do you come back from that. So I think a lot of times you'll see different reviews, and you know that problem got fixed more than likely, but oftentimes they won't report back that it was fixed.
So Think Local Columbus is a group of volunteers.
Yes.
And it's you've mentioned that it's just a community-wide effort. Let's say someone out here is listening to this podcast and hearing about Think Local Columbus for the first time. What do they need to do to get involved? Are you open to all kinds of, I mean, what's the application process, if there is one, or how do people just get involved and help you guys support your cause?
It's a 10-page application process.
Okay, no. Before you scare people off. It's honestly super easy. We have so many different ways for people to be able to reach out to us. thinklocalcolumbus@gmail.com if you're an email type. If you want to get on Instagram, slide into the DMs. I will gladly check those out, respond to you. Chrissy and I have been tag team in the Facebook Messenger. And otherwise, if you happen to know Chrissy or myself, you can always send us a personal email, reach out to the chamber as well. Anyone and everyone is more than welcome to be part of Think Local Columbus. We actually are finally getting some more structure because we have so many wonderful people that are on our committee that, we have a marketing committee, we have an events planning committee, we have a training committee.
The volunteer committee.
Thank you. I know I was forgetting one. We have a volunteer committee. So, we have different committees that we have so many great ideas. We just need more power behind them. So if you want to be a driving force for that, please, please, please reach out. We would love nothing more than to add some more people to our team, help the downtown area, help all of Columbus. That it's pretty easy.
I do want to say, Caitlin and I seem to be the face of Think Local here lately, I feel like. But, Eric Hyab, Miranda Maxey, Allie Stearns, Candy Hester, Kyle Davern, Bob, Cammie, who else? There's a lot of people on our Think Local committee that even if you don't know us, but you know them, talk to them about it. Ask them, when's your next meeting? What can I do? All of that stuff too, because it's bigger than us, and we want it to continue to grow and be bigger than us. We want everybody to have something to say.
And as you talk about continue to grow, that's one of the things I find really interesting, because a lot of times when programs start, as you were talking about earlier, you were talking about it was COVID, it was around Christmas, and the initial push was how do we help the retailers that are having to do curbside survive long enough because they don't get those Christmas shoppers this year. And what I think is really neat is to hear your story and hear about how what started out as a very focused Think Local during the shopping. And you see a lot of that. There's a national Think Local week and things like that. But what I think is really neat about what you guys are doing is for a volunteer group just to come together and do that and then say, no, that's not enough. We haven't accomplished the mission. We still want to support, the local businesses here in Columbus and to extend that out into the service industries. It's like, let's not call the Indianapolis plumber. Let's call the local plumber. Let's get everything we need here. I think that's just such an impact to the overall community. And I love that you guys have been able to pivot, and switch it and say, hey, let's not stop. Let's keep going and let's keep building momentum. So talking about momentum and future growth, tell us a little bit about what you guys have. I'm sure there's some ideas and some plans for the future. So tell us about what's still coming up for Think Local Columbus and what can we expect to see?
A lot. There's a lot. We've had multiple meetings, I think, discussing future plans. And I think the biggest event or item that we're looking forward to and planning to approach is to kind of get out of the downtown area. We love downtown, don't get us wrong. But when there's events going on, they're always downtown. We have so many businesses that are so far beyond the downtown area that we want to help them out, and we want to bring people out to those locations. So we're looking at doing Think Local Columbus block parties, and this is going to be something that we're hoping can go to all the different locations, and we can say, hey, here's this little strip mall that we have 6, 7, 8 businesses right here. Well, we also have this wonderful parking lot that we can fit 20 tents in. And so someone who is working from home, or, a Josh Robinson that you walk by the door and didn't realize, and Nate has to tell you, hey, turn around, you missed it, that he can come over and say, hey, I'm going to stand in this tent and I'm going to actually shake hands, kiss babies, do the whole thing, and really network, get to see people, and just have fun with it. Bring people like Hog Molly and have some awesome local beer, and, maybe some food trucks or different restaurants can come and we can just really have that experience that you look forward to it. You want to bring the whole family, and you want the whole family to realize, oh my gosh, I didn't realize Columbus had this much to offer.
I think the downtown businesses have a little different sense of family and community because they're so tight, and then they're also a lot of foot traffic. So you walk past the same people every day and that kind of thing. But if you go to other areas, yeah, I mean, I've got some ideas, and I'm ready to go to one of those block parties.
Absolutely. I think it's important because, as you talk about making an impact in a community, you've got to impact the entire community, and so it's great. And speaking of getting involved, that's really at the stage I think you guys are at now. So anyone can get involved, and this is anyone from individuals, non-business owners, if correct, and then but businesses can get involved as well. So, would you guys be open to a business contacting you and say, hey, I really want to be part of this Think Local, and, how do I get involved?
So we absolutely want businesses to be involved. We do something every Saturday called Showcase Saturday, where we literally showcase your business, right? You get the whole love of that day. We have a little bio. I don't want it. So for me, I don't want just the business. Here are my stated facts of us. I want that personal touch. Why is local? Why is it important that you're local here with Columbus? What are things that you do that you can't get somewhere else? So give us a little bit of that background. We want to meet your family and your kids, and why you love this, and then do pictures. What are some products you have? Put a picture of your family. I think Richard Hall's Insurance was one that I absolutely loved their Showcase Saturday because I got to meet the family. Ray's Auto, we got to meet the little puppy dog, so those are things that we want to do with the Showcase Saturday. But we will invite people, but we really want your permission to showcase you. So the big thing is if you want to be showcased, slide in our DMs, send a message, email us, whatever that may be, with your bio, with your pictures, and we'll get you scheduled out, and do that type thing. Also, if we post something, share it. If you have something from your Facebook or your social that you'd like us to share for you, send it to us. Building content is a lot, and since this is a volunteer, job, it's a lot to get content with that. So the more that we can have the community, because eventually what we would like it to be is it's just feeding itself, right? Businesses are learning. We've taught them how to post on social media. We've taught them with the content calendar what that looks like, and that extra step is hashtagging Think Local Columbus. That extra step is, hey, do you mind sharing this on the Think Local page? Can we join your block party? Can we, whatever it is, it's okay to ask us. We are wanting you to ask us. We're wanting you to give us all of your information so that we can give you some love. Is there anything else?
I think the only other thing that I would add is just, if you are a local business and you're like, what, I really would love if someone could give me a class on, say, Canva, because I know we have it coming up, that, send that idea over to us. Or if there's something that you have that you're like, hey, I think if you did this, it would be amazing. We always love ideas. We love suggestions. It's truly how we grow is by having more brain power coming through and saying, hey, I think this is going to be a great idea because, obviously we haven't thought of it yet. So yes, please share your ideas, share the love, anything that you have to offer or have to add, please feel free to send our way.
I think another thing is we passed out a card at the wine walk or the spring spritz, and we wanted to know what business needs. What are your needs? Sometimes it's around tax time, you have QuickBooks, you're not sure what to do. And so you need help with that. We may not be able to immediately help with that, but we have resources that we can find somebody that's willing to volunteer time or maybe inexpensive and can help with that. Let's say, I need, I'm the only employee here, and if I could just have one afternoon that somebody can come in and just help cover for me. I know that seems crazy, but those are ideas that we're wanting. What can we help you as a business besides spend money there, right? What other services or, I just need you to really push this on social media or whatever. We want to help businesses in that way as well.
So you've got a lot of events coming up with Think Local Columbus. There's a lot of stuff happening. Everybody can hit the website, hit the Instagram, and join your guys' effort and just really support this community, which I think is a great idea. I'm really excited. I think I'm a big believer in that people are a driving force. And if you can get enough people behind the same idea, I think you guys can really make some positive impacts for the community. And looking forward to seeing what's next, looking forward to block parties, looking forward to those classes coming up, looking forward to see how Petrie's doing as we get a little farther down the road. So I just congratulations on what you guys have started. For a volunteer organization, that's the neat part, is you didn't do this because you had to, you did this because you wanted to. And I think that's the takeaway. I think that says in spades about what you guys are about and your love of the community. And if you can just continue to grow that, I think we'll all be better off.
So give us a reminder real fast of how we get a hold of you and get a hold of the schedule, because I really appreciate you guys being schedule masters and having all that stuff down.
Thankfully, we've made it all super consistent, so that way there's no confusion. So thinklocalcolumbus@gmail.com if you want to email, thinklocalcolumbus.com if you want to get on our website, see past classes, future classes, any of the other fun things going on there. And then Think Local Columbus is both handles for Facebook and Instagram. And really quick, Bob, I know that you were just kind of mentioning, great that we're moving forward, doing a lot. But I just want to reiterate that even though it's Chrissy and I here, it's our whole committee. We couldn't do it without them. We appreciate everyone that, whether it's I have 5 minutes I can give here and an idea there, or the people that are putting in multiple hours, that we appreciate everyone that is part of our Think Local Columbus committee.
Right.
And I want to say, please, citizens, come be residents, be part of our group. Nate's laughing at me, but we are business focused. I think that's a lot of us because that's what we do, right? It's our everyday thing. But we need the residents that just live here, even the retired ones that are not sure what to do, but have a legacy here, have a story here that knows what's happening, that can come and give us ideas and help us outside of the business world and get into that volunteer help community world as well.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Nate, it was good seeing you again.
Remember, everybody, Think Local Columbus.